Hello everyone, this is Poppin' Threadbare, and welcome back to The Witcher 3. Not that I'm gonna tell you. So where we last left off, we had caught up with Triss, and she told us to find an Oniromancer, a dream teller.
Just passing by, wanderer? Or do you seek something specific?
Who's asking?
Rudolf de Jonkier. Of those de Jonkiers, yes. My ancestors laid the foundations of this city. I now own its largest bank.
Didn't need a recommendation. Name would have been enough.
Father always said, all ought to know your merits, son. Don't hide them under a bushel.
Good for you.
I'm looking for Corinne Tilly.
Oh, you've come to the right place, then. Corinne is inside. Been there for a few days, dreaming the home's history.
A few days?
Why do you need to know the house's history? You a historian, or on a whim?
I bought this property a short while ago. Paid a pretty penny, I might add. Soon after, I witnessed disturbances. Led me to fear the home might be haunted.
What are the symptoms?
Oh, they vary. Giggling in the night. And furniture moving about in the attic. And last week, well, you shan't believe it, I found human feces in the parlor.
Huh.
Not interested in what's going on inside? Seeing it for yourself?
I'm a banker. Cursed homes scare me. Do you know how a haunting can affect property value? Point of fact, Corinne requested she not be disturbed.
I'd like to go inside, look around.
I don't usually let strangers rummage around my home. Twin swords, though. You're a witcher. You may enter, call that my whim. Truth is, we're already dependent on the black ones, economically.
Yeah, that's actually from the books, too. That the Empire basically came in through the north and rearranged the economy to benefit themselves. Their ability to centralize production and, not have it be disrupted by constant...
Stop! Go away! Don't do that. Leave it!
Not have that production constantly interrupted by wars. It's certainly something.
Wake up, it's just a dream. Wake up.
The doll. The attic.
All right, time to check the attic.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please. Stop. Go away. Don't do that. Leave it.
Sounds like she's shouting at a child. And yeah, there's a child giggling. It's off in the distance.
That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
Ah, here we are. Ladder. Good to get some light in here.
Way to the next room's blocked.
Not blocked that well, though. Huh. Oops. Okay, so...
There was a cradle on the second floor. Wonder what had happened if I laid a doll in it.
Alright then.
Stop! Go away! Don't do that. Leave it!
Where is that cradle, though? I think it was in the side room here.
Another masterpiece. An oven and a blackened grate. Oh joy. A riddle. Guess I should find an oven.
Alright. It's probably going to be on the ground floor. So let's head downstairs quick. Oh, no, that's the front door. And actually, it looks like there's a basement here, too. Could be in the basement. As a matter of fact, it is. Along with a weak wall.
Boo! Did I scare you? Scared you, didn't I? I could tell you were scared. Big brave man scared of wee little Sarah. Ain't that funny?
I wouldn't do that anymore if I were you, Sarah. You might scare someone so bad they'll hurt you.
Why would someone hurt me? Having a spot of fun's not allowed anymore.
What are you playing?
That lady fell asleep, and I've sent her some horrible dreams. I'll not her wake neither. I can do that, you know. Funny, isn't it?
Very funny. Thing is, I gotta talk to the dreamer, so I'd like you to let her wake up.
Little Sarah doesn't want her to wake. Little Sarah wants to play.
You're lucky. I know you're a harmless godling, but others might not know, and then...
And how'd you know I'm a godling, eh? How's that, eh? Eh?
If it looks like one and acts like one, trust me, you're a godling. You give the dreamer nightmares and won't let her wake up. Why are you tormenting her?
I'm not tormenting anyone. Scary dreams are great. What I love is when this big hen chases me. Hen's got this red...
Why do you live in a haunted house?
Tell you a secret. The house ain't haunted. Not one bit. I just pretend it is. Make everyone think that. It was sitting there all empty, so I moved in. Bigwig from the bank then came and bought it. I don't like bankers, especially not to live with, so I decided to give him a scare.
Gave the banker a really big scare. See, he paid a lot for this house and won't give it up easily, which is why you need to find another home.
I don't want to! I don't! I won't!
Sarah, Novigrad's no place for a godling. But if you want to live here, that's your business. So let's make a deal.
A deal? What kind?
Leave the dreamer alone. In exchange, I'll tell the banker the house is haunted. For good, no way to lift the curse.
You tell him that? What if he doesn't believe you?
I'm a witcher. He'll believe me.
Yes? Yes? Yes! Do that and I promise not to bother your friend. Not even a little. You're awfully nice, you know.
I don't hear that often. Thanks.
Now go wake that sleepyhead. I won't stop her. She'll get up.
Alright, that settles that. So let's go find out what's in this little, oh, ancient elven ruins. Go figure. Doesn't look like there's much else around here, unfortunately. I mean, some actual nice loot drops instead of the crap that's in the actual house. But still, you know. And yeah, he's a banker. He's rich. This is one of many properties he likely owns. I don't really feel bad about screwing him over on this one. Especially because he didn't actually arrange any payment.
Who are you?
Triss Marigold sent me to see you.
Gods. Horrible nightmares. I was supposed to dream the history of this house. Instead, I saw furniture. Hungry furniture that wished to devour me. I know it must sound foolish, but in the dream, well, it was all too real. And not at all amusing.
The work of a godling. She made people believe the house was haunted. Also injected your dreams with her little jokes.
And you managed to wake me. I feel fortunate.
We witchers have our ways.
I thank you very much. The dreams, they were awful. Any way I can pay you back?
There is, actually. I'm looking for a young woman who was seen in Novigrad.
I can certainly try to help. But I'll need to clear my head first. After those deranged dreams, I feel it's full of cobwebs. Find me at the Golden Sturgeon. I rent a room there.
All right. See you there.
Alright, well, fair enough. Now let's go talk to that banker.
I saw Miss Corinne leave, but she refused to speak to me. Is the matter resolved? Or quite the opposite?
Oh, you can back out on your deal, apparently.
A bit of both. A demon had captured Corinne. I managed to free her, but the house is still haunted.
Did Corinne dream of the building's past?
Yeah. Pretty horrid, apparently. Though she refused to talk about it. Nobody should inhabit the place.
So many crowns I paid. Oh, well. It shan't put me in the poorhouse.
Yeah, you see, he's already shrugged it off. Anyway, no reason to delay the meeting further. Let's go find Corinne at the Golden Sturgeon. I believe that is the big place off the side of the main plaza. But apparently I'm wrong. Apparently it's this little hole-in-the-wall place with a big tavern. Apparently they've got a few rooms to rent. Oh, the floor here is thick. I like what she's done with the place. Even if the floor isn't thick, all of those carpets and tapestries should help keep out the noise.
A dream in here.
Never witnessed a seance like this before, let alone participated.
I will guide you. We must first achieve a kind of mental accord. I must ask some questions. You must answer them. It's important you're truthful. Answer from your heart.
Your gift. Tell me how it works.
It's hard to describe. To start with, I must gain an understanding of the bond between the person and the object I'm to dream about. I ask questions, try to flesh out feelings, emotions. Truth is essential in this, and though most who come to me acknowledge that, many refuse to speak openly of certain matters. Apart from which, they remain unaware of others, further obscuring things.
What do you see in your dreams?
I don't. It's my client who sees. My gift lies in summoning the right dreams. At times, nightmares or strong desires impose themselves on true events. It takes skill to separate seed from chaff.
Let's begin.
To start with, tell me a memory you have of this woman.
What for?
Do as I ask, please. I need the strongest, most complete memory you have of...
Ciri. The woman's name is Ciri. I accepted a job once. Did it. Asked to choose my reward, I invoked the law of surprise. Never thought I'd actually meet the child promised to me at that time. Years later, I was in the Broccolon forest. Happened on a girl there. Didn't know who she was. The Dryads wanted to keep her, turn her into one of their own. But the Waters of Oblivion, they failed in her case. Ciri came out of Broccolon with me. I sent her back to her grandmother then. But already, I felt bound to her.
By destiny.
By something more.
Thank you. Would you be willing to share another memory?
Yes.
No need to rush. We have time.
Ciri was orphaned during the Second War with Nilfgaard. Had no idea what to do with a young girl. So I did what I would have done with a boy and took her to Kaer Morhen. Figured some physical training, sword work, development of her stamina couldn't hurt. I remember her standing on a crumbling wall. A stone came loose, she lost her footing. Caught her at the last possible instant. Strongest memory, though, is of her coming out of her room one day, wearing a dress and claiming she was indisposed. Knew then that Ciri was maturing. It was unavoidable. I was lost in the face of that.
I see. Do you wish to tell me anything more?
Yes, I think so.
In that case, I'm listening.
It was after her time training at Kaer Morhen. After the moment when Yennefer first called Ciri her daughter. We'd been separated. I knew she was in danger. I dreamt of her multiple times. I found her at Stygia Castle. She'd gone there to free Yen and gotten herself captured in the process. They wanted to hurt her. I remember fighting side by side with Ciri on stairs slippery from blood. It was the first time she ever deflected a crossbow bolt with her sword. Told her never to try it again.
These memories, they're intense. Do you wish to continue?
I have more to say.
Then please do.
It was in Rivia. The Second War with Nilfgaard had just ended. There was still tension in the air. For gods know what reason, race riots erupted in the town. I tried to do something, but couldn't stop a riled crowd. A boy with a pitchfork. He ran it right through my gut. Yennefer lay dying as well. Ciri had us carried onto a boat. We sailed to a place where apple trees bloom eternal. She left us there. It was the last time I saw her.
You claim the woman has abilities. Tell me about them.
She's a child of the Elder Blood.
A descendant of bloody Falker. The rebel burned at the stake. The prophecies claim the world's destroyer will be born of the Firebrand's cursed blood.
Pure legend.
Know when a legend transforms into prophecy? When it gains believers. I think you're right to be reticent in talking about the woman. I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah, there's something else. They call Ciri the Lady of Space and Time. Once I asked Yennefer why. She travels between worlds. Turns out I don't know how to talk about it. Didn't really understand much of what Yen told me. I just know there's more to it than traveling to different places, and that Ciri carries immense power in her blood.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah, there's something else. I remember Ciri having trouble controlling her abilities. Yennefer tried to teach her to cast simple spells, and Ciri destroyed a shed near the temple where they were. Really upset her, but it was just an old shed. I know it took her a while to gain control, and frankly, I doubt she controls her abilities fully to this day.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
No. Can we start?
Naturally. I knew you cared about her. But your tone, the emotions you so carefully conceal.
Let's continue, please.
Make yourself comfortable and try to relax. You must take my hand and talk of Ciri. Tell me where you think she might be. Who could be at her side?
If Ciri couldn't find me, I'm sure she would have looked for another friend.
Who do you mean?
We already know she hasn't talked to either sorceress.
Maybe Dandelion. They liked each other a lot.
I'm guessing the physical act of weaving probably helps. I mean, knitting isn't weaving, but it is close, and it's much more portable. A bomb went off at the end there.
Dreamt of a swallow at first. After that, just nightmares.
At times the dreams can multiply. Show the past as well as the future.
The swallow. It symbolizes Ciri. She contacted Dandelion. I didn't know he was in town.
The poet. Heard about him. Someone left him the rosemary and thyme in their will.
The Rosemary and Thyme? Where's that?
As you enter the city through the red light district, you come upon a bridge. The rosemary is just past it.
Dandelion inherited a brothel?
So I've heard.
Thanks for your help.
Good luck, Witcher. I hope you find your Ciri.
Alright. Well, that was fairly useful. I mean, not entirely helpful, but it puts us on the right track at least.
So what's it gonna be?
And in particular, it gives us a reason to go back to that one place that is full of vagrants. Along with Geralt's, oh, hang on.
Scum sail in from across the sea. Think they can do what they please. Help me, Witcher. Take pity.
What happened?
Islanders from Skellige. They've taken over crippled Kate's.
Taken over? How's that?
Clobbered the innkeep, tossed out the girls, then set to drinking. They've been going since yesterday, apparently celebrating some big loot.
Yeah, sounds like Skellige's.
But you look to be an honest man. Help us. Drive away the hooligans. We've not much, but it'll make a tidy sum if we all pitch in.
Fine, I'll see what I can do.
Really? So there are good men left in the world.
So they took over a brothel and kicked out the ladies?
Sorry, mate. Gotta fill your horn elsewhere. This establishment's part of Skellige today.
Seems to me we're still in Novigrad, and in Novigrad, Novigrad rules apply. Rules you happen to be breaking.
Just how's that? You're not allowed to drink in peace? Have a bit of fun. Leg it, man, before you taste the wrath of a Skelliger.
Yeah, mind control, why not?
Collect your friends and go. On your best behavior now.
Aye. Gents, time to go.
Those swords, but I prefer me trusty axe.
Damn black ones.
Me noggins. Spinning.
The guard is just hiding behind the bar.
Thanks so much. We'd not have managed on our own. We're not rich, but I hope this is enough.
Keep it. You did more than I do.
Thank you. It's folk like you restore my faith in humankind.
Incidentally, refusing a reward in moments like that gets you nothing. In some games you get extra experience for refusing a cash reward, which I apparently just got anyway. Huh. But yeah, not in this one. If you refuse a reward, it means that you don't get the reward. Sometimes they will give you an item or something else instead if you don't ask for money, but for the most part it's just, yeah, you do it for moral reasons, not for game reasons.
I'll never come back, you stinking stan. Next time I'll rip your fucking legs off and shove them up your ass till you've toes for teeth.
It's Zoltan! Hey! Haven't seen you since the second game. And the first game. And the book series.
Get out in the nick of time, as always.
Zoltan, with your boot to someone's ass, as always. Who were those men?
Local colour. I wasn't gone more than a moment. Long enough for them to turn our home into theirs. All right, time for some spring cleaning. I've got to boot them all out. Care to join me?
With pleasure.
Leave him to me!
Pathetic.
Man, they're hitting pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, almost like we never left Bergen.
I'm pleased. That went well. Now we can greet each other like the gods ordained. Ages, pal.
Hey, Zoltan. You look good.
Training plenty lately. What with the war on, no Mahakaman meat to be found, but Redanian lagers standing in just fine. You, though, you've withered a bit. Something worrying you?
It's about Ciri. I know she came to Novigrad. Might still be here.
You mean she's come back? I'll be damned. I wonder if I'd recognize her. How many years is it now? 6, 7? But what'd she be doing here?
Hiding, probably. She might be in danger.
See her in your dreams?
Couple times. Her and the Wild Hunt.
Oh, not good.
Not at all, but I know she came here and contacted Dandelion.
We've a wee problem then.
Where's Dandelion?
I'd like to know that myself. Maybe he could explain what the hell's going on. Not just barely returned, as you saw. Expecting to come home to a hot like a boar and some cold ale, and what do you find instead? A shite storm. Dandelion gone, the tavern chock full of bums. Have no clue what happened.
Let's look around. Might find something that'll put us on his trail.
Prime idea. I say we start on the ground floor. It's where he sat and wrote.
And so yeah, this is why Geralt's stash is in this building. Because when it's not a home for vagrants...
Aha! A note from a grateful muse.
Reading someone else's letters.
My visage red and hot, I plunged into purest ecstasy, imbibing its nectar. Your dexterous digits on my soul's yearning chords.
Damn.
Nose is too small.
Aye, and the sword's too big. By the by, is that how it's done? Killing a wyvern.
Technique's not quite right, but you gotta admit he's doing it with gusto.
He's paid a pretty penny for that portrait. Anyway, of course there is that one... that's what he was reading. And yeah, there are the little blue dots, so of course this is where we intended to go.
10 barrels of Toussaint Dry, 5 cases of sodden triple mead. Nothing here.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for. It's his planner.
Dandelion and planning? Good one. Besides, anything he wrote here probably had a special system. Chaos only he could ever decipher. Actually, in the past, sometimes not even that.
Give him a chance. Might not be that bad. Seems when he inherited this fine establishment, it came with some fine responsibilities. Bookkeeping among them. He also made a habit of noting down the times of his meetings, official and private. So, who'd he been seeing of late? Here it is. Seems he's only been meeting women of late, the dog.
Not a bad idea. Dandelion's pretty loose-lipped. Might have blabbed something to a lady friend that'll put us on his trail.
That's what I'm counting on. We should divide these somehow. Perhaps... fuck it. I'll ask the lassies in my half, you interrogate the ones in yours. Suit you?
Zoltan, wait. This is in verse.
And you figure that's unnatural because...
Wonderful. Meet me back here when you're done. Share our findings.
Right you are. Need to do a wee bit of tidying before I go. Cannot stomach the idea of coming back to this mess. And you'd be wise to read your bit before you scurry off. If you need anything, I'll be next door.
Alright. So just like Zoltan said, our next objective is to...
The faculty of Oxenford University is honored to grant Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount de Lettenove, the title of Master of the Seven Liberal Arts.
Keep forgetting he's got that damn fool name.
From the finest vineyards, every last one.
No one knows the fruit of the vine like Dandelion.
Is he eating seeds? Is that why he keeps spitting?
This the loot he got from the elves of Dol Blathanna.
Aye. Must have been in a great rush to leave it behind.
That, or he didn't want to risk it wherever he was going. But yeah, like Zoltan said, our next objective is now to read the planner. But we still got some areas left to explore here. Some containers left to loot. And before I move on to Dandelion's lady friends. I figure we'll see what else we can grab from his sudden windfall. Quite a lot of booze, as it turns out. Some water, but mostly booze. I wonder if Dwarven Spirit is made from Dwarven mead. I know that when you distill wine, you get brandy. And when you distill most kinds of beer, you get whiskey. Or at the very least, they come from similar sources. But what happens when you distill honey wine? Yeah, no reason to change our weapons now. By the time I start finding better steel weapons, I'll be able to make the better steel Witcher sword. Ever had a Big Dipper? I think we talked to a tannery, or a tailor by a tannery before.
Still here? Looking for something?
Just checking to see that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone. Though well she knows the touch of silken lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace.
Molly keeps things tidy for the Baroness La Valette.
A baroness within reach and he settled for a chambermaid?
Dandelion's not one to judge folk by their station. You know that. Like he says, in the alcove, we're all equals.
Yeah. Guess a true poet observes life in all its aspects, examines it from all perspectives. If I didn't know him better, I'd say he was jealous about this Marabella.
Oh, I doubt it. Former pupil. And well, the tales he told me about her.
Doubt I want to hear them.
Probably better off not. Things between them took a turn for the strange at some point.
Meaning?
She had him wearing mummers' costumes. Took to calling him Christian, referring to herself as Anastasia.
Huh, truly perverse.
He didn't ken half of it. Called him a stallion once. That's the fool took it as a compliment, till she pulled a bit in the reins out of her cupboard. Oh, poor bastard fled out the window.
Vespula. Name rings a bell. She threw his knickers out the window.
That's her.
Hollered something about him being a scoundrel with a voice like a consumptive pheasant.
That's her.
Threw flower pots at him.
Guess soul flames never die.
Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility, to swing her dwarf with agility. Dwarf. Never suspected he'd be so humble.
Dwarfs what Rosa var Atre named her Guihir. Well chosen, eh?
All right. But Var Atra? Her dad happened to be the Nilfgaardian ambassador?
Yes. You know him?
Wouldn't say that. Had a brief conversation with him at the palace in Vizima.
Well, then you've a good notion of the kind of bloke he is. Commissioned Dandelion to tutor Rosa and her sister in the art of rhetoric. But we Rosa preferred swordplay.
How dare she reject the great bard in favor of a common swordmaster?
More than one, it seems. Week on week, we get fresh gossip about her thrashing another instructor. So bad he resigns. Word has it her dad's now looking to hire her next victim. I mean, instructor.
Well, that's a way in.
A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Well, well, seems fascinated with this one.
Not without reason. Never been much for elven women myself, but this one's exceptional. Dare say Francesca Finderbeard'd be jealous.
You want to take this one, then?
Nah, you can have her.
Why?
See, elven beauty's like a young Beauclair wine, whereas I prefer vodka straight up.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help. Had another question about...
Aye.
Okay, so that's all we're going to be talking about until we get done with this list.
Double chase.
Lice it, you mangy dwarf.
Oh, let it go, Jarrett. Come on, we need another place to hunker down the nights.
Maybe we ought to try the King of Beggars.
What the...
Oh, that's bad luck.
I look like a ploughing beggar to you. I'm a citizen, temporarily short of a permanent dwelling. Naught else.
Want to go on looking, be my guest. I'm going to see the king.
Interesting. But yeah, there's no particular order you'd need to do these in. Dandelion isn't currently with any of them, and so doing one of them before the others will not interrupt the quest. Oh, what's this all about?
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay.
Help!
What you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
Well, it kinda is.
Take this coin and leave.
That ain't how it works. Vespula's to pay or be taught a lesson.
Already given her a verbal reprimand. Now go, before I teach you a lesson.
Come on. Gold's gold.
If I beat them up, they'll just come back.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Not entirely out of kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What are you? Oh, I know you. You're that witcher took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh. Dreadful sorry.
Explain something if you don't mind. You say I took Dandelion out whoring.
So he said. Claimed I was his one and only. But he fell in with the wrong folk. You and that dwarf who always looks like a cow licked him. Said you two were a bad example. Wine, women.
Song. He picked that habit up from us too? Gotta have a word with him.
I see.
What do you think? Where could Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion ask you about other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
This woman he was with in the harbour. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Kovir. Ha! Horvir, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it.
An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Thanks for your help. Listen, when I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
Yeah, the way he is with women. But yeah, it sounds like he was gathering intelligence.
Perfect weather to sit by a fire.
And the woman he was with might have been Ciri.
Welcome. Do come in.
Yeah, I remember you.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elial.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elial?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elial was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here. Any better?
So you're...
Elial.
Did you and Dandelion... I mean... How did you two meet?
I met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk.
What happened?
What do you think? We spoke.
That's it?
I'm not sure what you're getting at, but I should make one thing clear. Men don't interest me. Told him that as well. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
Well, fair enough.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button reaffixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He asked about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein. If Dandelion and I hadn't laid our cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square. But as he perished, the goings-on, impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really? What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
I know this is none of my business, but why do
I dress up? As a child, I dreamt of becoming a Doppler when I grew up. I became a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested. Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
You might want to do something about that book attached to your hand, though. Looks kind of painful. But yeah, it's a very interesting meeting with a very interesting person. And also interesting is that connection to Kalkstein. who, as an alchemist, knows more than a few things about explosives. And yes, we're just updating the character biographies that we've been through, recently met with. Zoltan CHIVAY, one of those especially interesting people. And by the way, the character biographies do update as you meet with people and as events transpire. You don't get that little asterisk update thing for pre-existing. Huh. Looks like everybody else is up in the wealthy part of town. So I should go see how they're doing.
Is there a land where I can find more of your kind?
And looks like I haven't actually... Huh. This seems new. I'm not sure if it's supposed to exist before or after you go and visit the Neuromancer. No, it's definitely after, because I just got a quest off of it. And apparently there's a follow-up. I guess I might as well. It's, I don't recall this taking much time.
Well, you wanted braids.
But I didn't want my hair pulled.
Can't have one without the other.
Then I don't want them.
Place looks a lot more hospitable.
Witcher, Witcher. Corinne, look who's come.
Huh. Live here together now? Didn't know.
Once you told me Sarah had been responsible for my nightmares, I decided to see if the devil's as scary as they paint him. Or her. I came in to find not a fiend, but our little Sarah. And I can't say why, but we took a liking to one another immediately.
Long ago, to isolate themselves from a world of beasts, humans began building cities. But since beasts prowl within stone walls as well as they do outside them, this did not allay human fears. The truth is, walls guarantee no one's safety. The place where you lock yourself in and lock all else out, that's not your home. Your home is sometimes a place you travel long and far to find.
Yes?
So yeah, I imagine this quest has a couple of different arcs to it, depending on your choices during the main quest, but in this case, Corinne and Sarah have teamed up to continue the tradition of a haunted house and effectively get themselves some free rental space. Good for them. It's good to know that they've found a place to call their home. But we do have a few other ladies to find, so let's get to it.
This Baronet's La Valette's villa.
Shouldn't interest you. The Baroness don't mingle with just anyone.
Don't worry. I'm here to see your chambermaid, Molly.
Out of the way. Baroness is riding out. Be gone.
Greetings, Witcher. Must admit it's curious to see you here. I don't quite believe in coincidences.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of monsters, and my son.
You're right, General. My visit's no accident. I'm looking for someone.
There's no one here who wishes to see you. Captain, this man is not to enter. Forgive me, Morvran, but I've lost my appetite for the races.
Kill a woman's son and appear at her doorstep? My. I thought witches had better survival skills than that.
Looking for a girl named Molly. Heard she works here.
I fear your information's out of date. Molly no longer works here.
Seem to know who Molly is. You also know she doesn't work here anymore. Know where I can find her, maybe?
This time of day? Probably sipping punch and considering which horse to bet on.
Not in the mood for jokes.
I jest you not. After Arian's demise, Louisa's nephew came to pay his respects. Got one glance of Molly and, well, they wed soon after. They now await his inheritance. With the Baroness's son dead, the estate will go to the nephew and Lady Lata, known until recently simply as Molly.
Gotta wonder if Molly fell for the nephew or his inheritance.
We cannot know that just yet, but I'd wager she has strong feelings for both.
All right, so where'll I find the newly minted Lady Lata?
Our dear little Molly has a new passion, horse racing. To my knowledge, she should be at Countess Vegelbud's villa right now. That's exactly where I'm going. Since you stripped me of Louisa's company, perhaps you'd agree to come along.
Well, if Molly'll be there.
On our way, then.
So this is another quest that can change its shape depending on previous actions. In this case, what you did during the second game. Because in the sort of prologue area, you either kill or don't kill the guy in charge of a rebellion in Vizima, who is that woman's son. And if you do kill him, she defects to Nilfgaard. Hence why the ambassador was keeping her company just now.
We've arrived.
Nice place.
I must say, of all the creatures in this region, I find steeds most intriguing. Horses interest you at all, Witcher?
All the same to me. Call each one I ride Roach.
Strange. The grey is Cantarella, sired by Cahir, the champion from Vol.
Yeah, gray's a good color. Even looks good on horses.
My coin's on the black stallion, Nemrod, purest Nilfgaardian stock.
Surprised he didn't salute you, General. Know anything about the chestnut or the bay?
The chestnut is Thunderbolt, a pure-blood Britannian, gallant steed, but too headstrong for my taste, difficult to control. And the bay hails from Zerrikania. Lord de Volte acquired him recently. I know little about him, though Zerrikanians are reputed to have incredible stamina.
Seem to know your horses.
I find them to be far more honest than men. Must say, I'm curious how you manage in the saddle, Witcher.
Mostly just try to stay in it.
What would you say to a little race?
Not what I came here for.
Don't make me beg, Witcher. Tell you what, win, and I shall give you my finest saddle. Made in Nilfgaard proper of beautifully tanned leather.
That might as well.
Why not? Wouldn't mind seeing if your knowledge of horses translates into riding skills.
Ha! Splendid! In that case, you must choose a mount.
Well, if the Zerrikanian has a lot of stamina.
Think I'll give you a run on the Zerrikanian Bay.
Cantarella for me, then. The horses are saddled. Let's begin.
Riders, ready? Go. Come on.
I adore the speed, the rush of air.
It's a very pretty part of the NOVIGRAD grounds.
Come on, Witcher. Let's see what you're made of.
Sadly, this is not my horse, and does not have my horse's saddle, and so its stamina is much lower. I did get a free marker off of this race, though. That's nice.
I adore the speed, the rush of air.
The roach I chose put in a nice run.
Exceptional. I've not lost a race in a while. I congratulate you. That is yours. Ah, look! Lady Latar has just arrived.
Who?
The woman formerly known as Molly. There she stands.
Right. Thanks.
I shall be here for a time. Find me if you'd like to ride back to the city together.
Alright, let's have a chat.
Who do you favor, milady?
Can't decide between the black stallion and the grey mare. Keep going back and forth, back and forth. Sorry, don't believe we've been introduced.
I'm Geralt.
Geralt! That Geralt! The one Dandelion's rescued time and time again.
That's right. Except it's the other way around. I'm always saving him.
Mean to say it weren't Dandelion saved you in Flotsam by severing your noose with an arrow from 100 paces?
What? Dandelion couldn't... Never mind. Any idea where our master archer might be at the moment?
No. Sadly, I haven't got a clue. We've not seen each other in ages. Ever since I became Lady Latard, it's been nothing but balls, banquets, and other such... congregations. Awful tiring, all this. But... or maybe his sister could help you. Such a nice girl.
I'm under the impression Dandelion thinks you still serve the Lavalettes.
Oh, that's because I never told him I stopped. Didn't want him to treat me any different.
And your husband has nothing against it? Your old friendship?
Course not. Sweetiekins couldn't be happier that Dandelion's raising me sophistication.
Any chance you remember your last conversation with Dandelion?
Course. He came to borrow some coin for a barge.
What? Why do you need a barge?
To take me on a romantic cruise of the canals by the light of the moon. Said there'd be strawberries and that wine with the bubbles, and he'd sing me arias. But I've not seen him since.
You do realize Dandelion doesn't have a sister?
Sure he does. Saw him himself. Funny, she don't look like him at all. Blonde, for starters. Maybe they've different fathers.
Mm-hmm. Different mothers, too.
Maybe. But you could see he cares for her. Looks after her. The way he carried her packages and...
Know where I can find her, Dandelion's sister?
I know. Whenever I asked Dandelion when we'd visit her, he'd grow all quiet and then change the subject.
Thanks, Molly.
Wait. Before you go, I've got a request. Dandelion told me once he'd show me his etchings, but he never did. I'd so like to see them.
Won't be too hard to convince him. He loves showing off those etchings to anyone he can.
Oh, that's wonderful! Thanks, and good luck to you on your search.
Well, just gotta track him down first. But yeah, a barge, explosives, intelligence on a bathhouse. Something's coming together here.
Do you think it becoming to disturb a lady? Hmm?
Ah, Geralt, there you are. Shall we return together?
Might as well.
Gladly. It's a long way to Novigrad. Road ought to seem shorter with some company.
I'd say the same. Well then, let's go.
But we'll be catching up with the rest of the city in the next video.